Good evening and welcome to Faith Cure YouTube channel. It is nice meeting you after a long time and a long while. It's been an eager time for me to wait for a live program on English. And today I've selected a topic called Why Shui Doctrine. And in India, we call it Shui Doctrine. I would say why Shui use Z Pi. That's what they say about the doctrine. We go about the doctrine that way. But since I'm an Indian, so I like to present it the way Shui Doctrine. So the main concept for this specification, what is it? What is the meaning of it? Why we go to this main concept? This concept is exploration of the Zhang Fu pathogens. So we are going to explore what is Zhang and Fu pathogens. That's what we're going to explore. The main concept behind this Zhai Fu doctrine is exploring differentiation of syndromes and treatment. This is what we're going to see. We have to differentiate the syndromes, differentiate the treatment. That's how we are going into a. That's how we are going to treat. That's how we are going to heal somebody, and that's how we are going to see somebody. So for that, what is the interior? This was told by the Yuan Su, the doctor of Zhang Yuan Fu, was given the knowledge of the interior. What is the interior? So for that, we have to go for the environment. So it is from the Song and the Yuan dynasty. During that period, during that hour, Song, Jin, Yuan dynasty, war time. It was war time. The time of war was there. A lot of people was going for wars. So during this particular period, the Yuan dynasty, it was wartime. Lost many great medical texts and miraculous disease. That's what they had a lot of text during war. What happens? Looting will happen. The country's wealth, the country's doctrine, the country's articles were taken out. That's how we say the lost great medical text. A lot of texts were lost. That's how you see a lot of text were being lost during this particular period. I'm talking about the Yuan dynasty. That's what happened. So what is that? Then they say that time they are all different type of diseases. So infectious disease. What happened to the infectious disease? And weaken the constitution. So it's not only the war, the famine, and the migration of people from one place to other place. Always the infectious disease also weaken the constitution. It happened to weaken the people. The war, the famine, and migraine also was the cause. So first we have to go. That's what they say. The great migration to south. You see people going from Mongolia, from a place called Mongolia. Okay, it's like almost Mongolia. It's just like that near that it goes via the Yellow River or Beijing and all the stuff places. So they migrated to the south. This is what happens in China. So near the Mango. I'm talking about nearby the Yellow River and the transformation of Chongguan, and that's what we are talking about. So how does this endogenous disease come about? Where it came from? How does it come about? There is no systematic understanding, not at all. Not a systematic understanding. Need further depending and development. That's what they needed, what the people really needed after war, after disease, after migration. They need food, water, survival. They wanted to just come out of that. That was the cause of it, the endogenous disease. And this is how the doctrine came to relate the Zhangfu dysfunction here. All endogenous diseases were related to the Zhangfu dysfunction. function, not properly functioning. And that's how you get to know. The source of Zong Fu pathology, I say the source. From where did the Zong Fu come from? The source. How did it come out? Today we read about the source. I earn today. I go to work. I get the income. I go to a doctor. I get a medicine. I get a cure. I go to a physician. I get cured. The source where I get my relief. That is called the source from where you get it. And the source of this particular Zong Fu pathology starts from here. It originates from the Neijing, but not in the organized fashion. Whenever the Neijing book was taken or the Neijing book was read, it was not organized properly. It was not given in us. Appeared in Neijing and Shang and Za, Ping Lu, Zong, Zhang, Xin, Quinzin Fa. It appeared in Neijing. This is how it appeared in that book. I'm telling you how it appeared in that Neijing book. So don't think this is something different. Yuan Jing Fang, Zio Rei Yo. So all these were the Chinese word like Jiu, Zeng, Fang, Jing, Za, Lun. So by the time when the Song dynasty rolled around, see, you have to go to the historical events. The Song dynasty rolled around. We are using the old formula of the new Zhang Fu conditions. We have to always go to the old formulas to use it. So when I talk about the old formula, I just think of a doctorate called Dr. Zhang Yuan Su. He was born in the Jin dynasty, Yishu country. He was there. Upon the etiology of the endogenous disease are due to dysfunction, as we said earlier, of Zong Fu. So focused on Zong Fu theories, differentiation of syndromes and treatments. This is how we have to do it. So we know the Zong Yuan, where it has come, Zong Fu, the full theory, differentiation, the syndromes. This is how it goes about. The syndromes of it, treat about. So how we're going to treat it. So then we have to see about China. When I go to the Chinese map, you see a lot of places there in Chinese district like Beijing. You must be hearing these words. Beijing, I told it the first time, near Mongolia, where it come from, Mongolia. It goes to Guanyang, all these places. So the map, the world, it's all about the map. And this is where we say the places who was able to heal the disease, who was able to heal the disease was Doc Lu Wan Su Shang Hang. So this is how the disease was treated there, and the students started to learn that, and they started cultivating it, begin the source of the medicine that is called Yuan. You see this word Yuan. You see Yuan source points. That's what the source points starts from Yuan source because it became the source of medicine. Yi Su Chi Zuan. So this is how the meditation. It's like you have to understand from where the starting has come from. Like the beginning source of medicine, and so we say the most chapters are written by Ling Min and his disciples. That's also Lingman, and it's based on the Neijing and Zong Zhang Jin. These are the books which were written on the medicine. So, beginning source of medicine were three sections: section 1, 2, and 3. The three sections, what it says. First section focused on the Zong Fu channel theory, treatment of the symptoms. This is what the first section was focusing on. The first section focused on Zong Fu channel theories, treating of the symptoms. This was the first. The second session, which they focused, was the disease of Wu Yu Lu Qi. The five cycles, we call it the five elements, the five cycles and the six Qis, that's called the six evils. This is what the focusing has started. It began, the focus started from here. The issue started from here. And the third session, which we focused on herbs and natural nature of herbs. So definitely herbal was a medicine there, and herbs were a medicine in the Chinese treatment. That's how we went about. That's how we came to know the knowledge about it. So his contribution, that Zhang Yuan Su, his contribution is great. So his contribution was supposed to be there. The Zhang food differentiation of syndromes, herbal categorization, new formulas and classifications. This is how it's going to be done. So example of the Zhang food differentiation is the liver. Let us start from liver. How we are coming to the subject. So whenever I take about the liver, you have to see the pulse in the liver. I need you to check the pulse in the liver is normal or abdominal. Symptoms of the liver. So just look into the symptoms of the liver. Psychology, physiology. That's what I always say, psychology and physiology of the liver conditions. I always think of the psychology and physiological condition of the liver. Liver diseases, any liver diseases there. And treatment as we take it any time, the differentiation in the liver. That's also. So liver, when I'm taking a liver disease, what I should show? I should see the pulse beating. So if the pulse is beating rapid, let me talk. If I'm taking a pulse diagnosis, I'm having a patient with me, I'm going to treat him, I'm going to take a pulse. So if I see it's the pulse are rapid. So irritable speech, the person speaking is so irritating for me. So pulse is rapid, the speech is irritable. So what we have to emphasize this, we have to emphasize this. So emphasizing is a very good, the rapid pulse has to be emphasized. So once this pulse has been emphasized, the disease, the issue gets lower. So whenever we say the pulse is slightly rapid, then we have to know chi has been congested. So the chi, whenever we see this pulse, it is not rapid, but slightly rapid. We have to know there is a congestion in the chi. Hypochondria, that's why we say hypochondria. Where it is been congested in the hypochondria. And if the pulse is slow, emphasized, vomiting and reversals. Suppose if your patient is coming, the vomiting sensation or vomiting has to be reversed. So the slow, emphasized pulse, the liver disease, we just say. And if the pulse is slightly so, if it's slightly so, water retention. So when a patient comes, understand what is the way you're going to treat him. So water retention and large emphasized, that is Nyang Yong. Hematitis, we should call it in English. We call it that is hematitis. Slightly large, that way means if the pulse is going to be slightly large, you are going to diagnose him. The pulse is going to be slightly large. You have to know he's got a tendon pain. The patient is going to get a tendon pain, and this is how the pain is going to be. So this is what is tendon pain. And small emphasizes this mean the yin is excess in condition. So liver disease is very important. And if you see a pulse is slightly small, the pulse is slightly small, you have to know is Bayes syndromes have to be treated. And suppose if you find the pulse slippery, you have to know the patient is having an hernia. Or slightly slippery. See, slippery is different, slightly slippery. Slightly slippery is urinary inconvenience. So it's having some urinary. And sluggish means low yin. Again, you have to go and treat him. So this is how you go to treat a patient with liver disease. You understand what is the issue there, and if you're going to do it. So that's what we go with a taste. If you want a tonification or selection, it's about the taste. 5 taste and 4 cheese. Pungent and sour. So say liver is and galvana. So what is the taste going to be? Pungent and sour. And when we talk about the 4 cheese, the boozy, that is warm and cold. So this is how we're going to do. That is tonification, selection. Warm means tonification. Cold means selection. So this is how the cheese is going to be done. Again, if it's going to be hot or small intestine, salty or sweet. Again, if you say tonification, hot, cold. You see the first liver and gallbladder, it is warm, cool. And second, now we're going to see the heart and small intestine. You can hear this word hot, cold, not cool. You hear this word cold. It is finishing. It is ending. It's not convert. It is already converted. It's become cold. It's not getting cold. It's cold already. So next, spleen, stomach. Again, the taste comes like sweet, bitter. You get the sweet. Make your tonification. Bitter. Make your sedation here. Again, cool, cold or cool, warm or hot. Again, this both the content comes here. So just take the four cheese how it is going to be. So for lung and large intestine, the only thing which I would take is I would go only for the tonification is sour, and for the kidneys and urine bladder, I go for the only thing is pungent, which is seduction. So this is what we go to read the formulas, and whenever we say the old formulas or the herbs, according to the wind, summer, heat, dampness, dryness, and cold. So we have to classify when the crops grow and when the crops have become dry and when they have become cold, when they become according to the climatic conditions. So that's what you see whenever we talk about the liver. We have to see the deficiency of excess case on the manifest source of solutions also. So this is how you go for a full treatment of the some food. So first, if it is excess or deficiency, let me say, if it's seduction, the excess, tonify the deficiency. That's what we go. We split this into two. So seduction means the sun. Yes. Tonify means mother. So this is how you're going to tonify the points. So you get the mother point of it, the sun point of it. So if you go to the points, you can collect it. First, you have to circulate the chi, first circulation of the chi, and the next point you circulate the blood, and third case you calm, next case you collect the weight. This will all be for the seduction points. And for the tonification, what you will do, tonify the mother, tonify the blood, tonify the chi. This is how you're going to do these three formulas. You have to follow very carefully. So when I give you the next video, it's going to be the points where we're going to talk about the acupuncture points, and I'm going to give you a lot of explanation on that. And if I'm talking about the manifest source that cools heat source, so seduction the wood and seduction fire. So this is how we're going to treat the patient. So I said tonification, the liver is pungent, sour sedex, salty, as I told you, tonifies the heart, and sweet sedex, the heart of the small intestine. This is the liver or gallbladder first told. Spleen or stomach is sweet, will tonify, bitter will sedate, lung or large intestine sour will tonify, pungent will sedate, kidneys or urine bladder bitter will tonify, salty will sedate. So this is how we think about this sedation. So whenever you take it, you have to look into the sedation. So always when you do a sedation, so you have to always see the channels. Heart channel sedation, heart fire, lung channel sedate, lung fire, liver channel sedate, liver fire. This is how you go, but spleen and other channels, you have to select it. So whenever we talk about the burners like Tai Yang Jing, Tai Ming, and Shou Yang, Tai Yin, Shou Yin, all this is you have to imagine as the upper burner, lower, upper, lower, upper, and this is how you have to do that. So always we take the taste and the temperature of a patient. You have to look at the climatic temperature, you have to look at the taste, what type of taste is the patient having, and what type of climatic condition is taking it. So you have to understand what it will cause when the patient is what food. Like mainly wind controls means main treatment will be pungent cool. Assessment of the treatment is going to be bitter pungent. So sweet to slow down, pungent to dissipate. So this is how it goes. Summary controls, salty cold. This is how you do the treatment. And diseases, how you going to treat the diseases. So we have to look into the subject a little more deeper to go and exploit or understand the condition. How are we going to treat each and every condition of the body? So, what is the ascending and descending? The body functions when it's there, when it's the exogenous factor happens. What does the upper gear do, middle gear do, lower gear do? That's how we have to go about conditions. Then what is rising up of the emotional factor happening? All this should be house of food attacking, overstrain attacking, cold attacking, fitness attacking the body. This is how we go on the conditions. And this session definitely gives you a wonderful moment, I hope so. And hope to continue watching my videos. Subscribe it. So whenever you want to tonify the middle burner, I give you a very good tea. Take a cup of tea or soup. I ask a lot of people to take a cup of tea or soup. You can have a cup of tea. This taking a cup of tea or soup will tonify the middle burner and will give the energy for the chi. So always ask your patient to have a cup of tea or soup. It's very good for the middle burner. So ask them to have it. It's very nice. And black tea, don't always prefer a black tea. This will definitely give the tonification or benefit the chi for the middle burner. So that's you can ask them a composition. You can ask them to have ginger tea, etc., whatever they like, garlic or mint, whatever tea they want. So this is how we have to do, and you treat them in appropriate way. So we can discuss a lot about this subject. I hope you like this live program, which we are given a lot of informations. Uh, Hope to continue watching our live channels. Thank you, Jai Hind.